just share like any sad moment with.
Sharing this. So when I was in my 12th standard and I was giving my board exam, so that time I was really ill. I was even unable to walk properly, right? And that time I had to give my exam, and so that was my physics exam, I think. And physics, I am really terrible at physics and maths. But when I went there, so in examination hall, I was starting, vomiting, and I was just feeling dizziness. So I just sit there and just mention my name and fill the copy, and suddenly it happened with me. I have written, I think, so many poetries. I exactly don't remember the number, and so many anthologies. I also published my own book, and now I'm thinking to write another book, but not now.
Yes, right. Good morning.
Okay. So how was your day?
Yes, my day was fantastic with the started my day to preparation Holi festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and yours?
Yeah, mine was also fine. Just doing house chores, and I just got free, so I checked my Skype and I saw your message.
All right. Okay. So as we are meeting first time, right? So before proceed our conversation, may I know about you little bit?
Definitely. So you know that my name is Sakshi Chauhan, and I'm speaking from Gwalior and Gwalior MP. I born and brought up here. I have completed my masters, and right now I'm a PhD scholar. And apart from that, yes, I have my YouTube channel also. So where whatever I learn, I try to share with my audience. So that is completely related to English. Yeah, that's all about me.
All right. Great to know about you.
Yeah, so I wanted to know something about you as well, if you
Mm,
can share.
yes, definitely. As you know, my name is Suman and I am from Delhi. And if I come to my studies, so I have done graduation, and apart from that, I have done NTT diploma. Currently, I'm doing masters in English literature. Simultaneously, I'm also running a YouTube channel, and I'm a teacher by profession. That's all about me.
Oh, that's great. So you are from Delhi. I have visited Delhi so many times.
All right. Is
Yeah.
there any relative?
No, no, not any relative. Yeah, my friends. Not relative, but my friends live there. So I have visited multiple times. From last 1 year, I think I didn't go there. But in 2022, I visited, I think, 8 to 10 times in a whole year.
All right. Is there any specific reason, or just like visit for shopping or for visiting purpose to meet with your friends?
No, no, because sometime there is event is happening, like, poetry event and open mic sometimes. So when they invite me, so because of this reason, I visited.
All right. That's a great. All right. So may I know what is your hobby? Apart from like learning this language to spend time here, what do you have another hobby?
Hmm. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that, right? So my hobbies is writing, mainly like reading books that I have started recently, not from last 1 or 2 years. But poetry is something that I'm doing since childhood, like when I was in my fifth or sixth standard. Since that time, I have been in this, writing. So I love writing poetries, stories, sometimes songs also. And in my leisure time or in my weekends, like on Saturdays and Sundays, I always perform. So this was a mainly reason to visit Delhi multiple times.
All
Yeah.
right. That's a great. So you love to writing poetry as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how many poetry have you written so yet?
Yes, I don't remember actually. You can, if you can see, some books are there. Is it visible? I don't think so that visible. But yeah, so I have written, this is very far, I think. So I have written, I think, so many poetries. I exactly don't remember the number, and so many anthologies. I also published my own book, and now I'm thinking to write another book, but not now. After some time, I'll start work on that. So yeah, so many books I have, so many poetries I have written on every topic. It can, sometimes it's related to women, or New Year, or country, or any topic. I have tried
Wow.
to write each and every topic. Yeah.
That's a great hobby, and I think this hobby to help you also enhance your communication and thinking power skill, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Writing.
so as you mentioned, one of book you have published.
Yeah, yeah. That is my own book
Okay. What
where I have that I
what
have
was the
published.
name?
I think 2, 3 years, 3, 4 years back. And so whatever the poetries I have written, this is completely poetry book. I have published my whole poetry, all poetries there.
All right. So as per my perceptions, you should also name the number so that you can, in the coming time, when you become like a proficient type of personality, so you are also able to recall how many poetry I write so far. I have written so far, right?
Yeah, exactly. You are right. But I didn't focus on that so far. I'm just whatever comes in my mind, I just note it, jot it down. And whenever I get chance to perform, I just perform there. That.
Yeah, you are right. But when we like number them any particular thing, so we are able to recall the number and we are like tell our story in front of anyone with full confidence. Yes, I write down this kind sorry like 500, 600, whatever, right? There are so many trainer, English trainer, they are also name their number. Like I train a student trained by me 4,000, 5,000. So
Yeah.
it means they also mention their number, their register. So that's the reason they are able to tell us, yeah, what they have done.
Exactly, I do agree with this point because, yeah, that sounds good. When you say, I don't remember the exact number, but so many. And instead of saying this, you can say, like, I have written 300 plus poetries, I have published,
Yes.
like, I have done 50 plus events like this. So that sounds good, I know. When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to speaking or when you have to speak in front of people, right?
So
That's true.
and when we speak in front of anyone, so we said we can tell our feelings with confidently and with exact number, and that when we like tell our what should I say, like ability to someone, so that time we are also feeling proud. Wow, I am doing like this kind of I already completed like that number.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, exactly. Definitely. So for now,
You
I'll
know,
try.
here I would like to tell you my little short story, not too much. When I was in the childhood, so at that time I used to like write vocabulary. I love to vocabulary like from my childhood. I always eager to found new vocab, and if I found, so I write down. I wrote down in my diary. But at that time I did a mistake like I did mention date, but now when I sometime didn't mention a like date, but sometime I mentioned. So I thought here I made big mistake, because when I open, so I eager to know when when did I write, what was the son, what was the that day and that date. So now when my son something writing, so I recommend him, beta, if you want to like write some each and every day I give him one object to my son, and I tell him, beta, you have to write like a summary, like a story, whatever you want, so you can write without the help of internet and Google. Just you have to write on your story and on your summary, whatever you want to write, so you can just write, and please mention date and day and son also. So whenever you become a grow, so you can recognize, wow, this day, that day and that was the year I was
Mhm.
like in this criteria V, or what was the my position. I guide him this kind of also activity, because this is also mandatory in our life, because I am feeling regretting, so that's why I guide him.
Right, right. And I want to know how old is he, your son?
He's 8 year old. He's 8 year old.
Great,
Yes,
great. So
that's
it's a
great.
good initiative. Trust me, it's a good initiative because you are giving him every day one object and he's writing. So it is kind of brainstorming. He's going to be habitual. So later on, he won't face any difficulty when it comes to writing something, writing an essay and all. Because even students that are studying in 10th or 12th standard, it is very difficult for them to write something what they have not learned or what they
Yes,
have not mugged up, I would say. So
yes,
yeah, no issue.
yes.
And
Yeah, you know.
Mhm.
Mhm, yes, go ahead, go ahead.
So this writing is something I also when I write, so I mention date, day, time as well. So I have
Yes.
started this, yeah, recently. I mention everything. I mean date, year, even the time, exact time. I check my phone and I mention the exact time.
Wow, that's a great. When write like something still, so we don't feel the what is the value of date or time, whatever year. But when we open after like 2 or 3 years, then we realize, oh, this date, this is my position.
Exactly.
So when I open, oh, I didn't know this meaning. Oh, I didn't know this meaning at that time. And now I feel very easy. Still, I like kept my box because I love to sometime when I see, and I love to this kind of activity.
Mm-hmm. Right, it happens.
Have you ever like open your old notebook, whichever you already written by you? Sometime you also open and check what was your label past time.
Right, right. So because of that, I started to mention date and time as well. Because
Yeah.
earlier what happened, because whatever I have written in my school time, I did not mention anything. No date, no time. I just used to write randomly. But I have everything. I did not throw any book, any diary. I have everything. So after some time when I was, I think in my college time, and then I used to open that. So I used to think and I wanted to recall that when did I write this, what so that was very difficult because you cannot recall what you have done even 1 week ago, right? If there is not any specific or remarkable. Normal day, sorry, normal day you cannot recall everything, right? So then I realized no, I will definitely mention time, then mention date and day, and then I thought okay, let's mention time as well. So from
Yes.
that time, I started mentioning it, and of course, when I opened my old diaries, my school time books and diaries, so yeah, I write and I feel so good. And of course, I check as you told me, right, that you check the
Yeah. What
level,
was the
update
position at
yourself.
that time?
Exactly, we compare ourselves. Even when I open my, even I have some English notes also that I have made in my 8th or 7th standard. So when I open that, I see a lot of mistakes. A lot of
Yes.
mistakes were there.
And even I deliberately check my rough register and pair register when I started my English journey. So I deliberately check what was I doing mistake at that time.
Hmm. Right, right. First, whenever I also open, then I check. Oh my God, that much mistakes. Like Hindi, I don't have anything for like related to Hindi. No, any notebook and all. Only I have English, like English notes, registers, whatever I made in my school time, in my 8th standard, 9th standard, or my diaries. These things only I have. Then I checked a lot of mistakes were there. Then even I start correcting them right now.
Oh my God. All right. It means as you mentioned your everything as you collected so many things. It means you love to English from your childhood, right?
Of course. And
All right.
one thing I want to add, not only, of course, English is there, but I love to keep my things stored. I don't want to throw. Even sometimes my family, my brother and my mother, they say, why are you keeping? I have, like there is a, one almirah you can see this, that, lower side, and there is a one almirah that is completely full of books. And everybody says, why don't you throw it? Then I say, no, no, I will use it in future. So,
Okay. I also want to keep books or copy because I also don't like. those are really very which wrote something. So I wanted to keep in my almirah. But problem is that we have a lots of books. So just I yeah, because now my son also go to school, so I have so many collection. So now just I keep only important books which I thought this is a really very important. Just otherwise, now I can say decrease to keep the book or
Right.
diary as well. Even I
Exactly.
don't want to throw out because when I something throw out, so I thought so many times, should I throw out or should I keep?
Yeah. Right.
Yes. So do you study in English medium school or from Hindi?
I was from Hindi medium student. That's why. In this thing, I can relate with you. I think we cut from the same cloth. When it comes to throwing anything, I really think whenever I keep, whenever I clean my room, so I just, pick everything. Okay, this book. Okay, I'll throw it. I'll throw it. And later on, I'll just check. Oh, no, no, I will use it. Just keep
Yeah,
this.
same
This also.
here, same
And
here.
eventually, I ended up by keeping everything in that Almira. I don't throw
Same.
anything.
When I clean my slab or my almirah, so I take out so many books. But when I started set the again, fill the in the any bag or carry bag, then I again open some. Is there anything important or not? Just I check again. So same
Right.
situation. Those love to books. So I think everyone like do that as we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So I have, books in this room also. There is a one room upstairs. There is also one room, like there is a one room and one complete like this Almira that is full of books. There is a books. Sometimes I feel I should throw it, but mainly I have my books like related to English or my related to like science because that is my science stream. So as I'm doing PhD, I know that I'm not going in this era of internet who are going to read from books. I know that whenever I want, okay, like when I clean or I keep my books, I open it once or twice and I see, okay, I'll check on internet this topic. I'll check on internet, right? So eventually I ended up by checking internet. I don't read from that a lot because these are old books. And on internet you want this time you want more because this content was enough for this content was enough for school time or for college time, but now I want more deeply concept. So I know that I'm not going to utilize those books, still I cannot throw that.
All right. That's a
Yeah.
great hobby, I can say. Okay. So let's move the next question. I would like to ask you, what do you do and for especially learn and recall the vocabulary? Nowadays I think everyone's struggling uh, to recall the vocabulary while conversation. So do you do any kind of activity so which you would like to share so you can share?
Okay, okay. So to be very honest, it really happens with me. Like everybody happens, we forget words. So for that, what I do, I try to read one or two vocabulary and I repeat. I just repeat. I try to construct sentence. Or throughout the day, I just try to recall that only one word again and again as much as I can. Or whenever I have session, so in during the session, I also try to recall that particular word, whatever I have learned. So that's what I'm trying to do to enhance my vocabulary. Vocabulary is something we're juggling with that. We have to work on that anyhow.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Sometime what happened when we finished our conversation, then we thought, why didn't use that word? We have to use like while editing, right? So this is a
Right.
very great, I can say part. Whatever we want to inculcate in our conversation, in our daily routine, day-to-day English conversation, just we have to repeat again and again and try to make so many sentences so we are able to like recall that word particular. So I also do same. So when I make so many sentences, so I am able to recall that word, but I just learn and write down in my diary, so I always forget.
Exactly, exactly. Because
Yes.
whatever the words we have used multiple times, we are habitual to use that, and those words comes automatically, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to put any effort for that.
Yes, yes. Yesterday I learned two words. Picturesque. Do you know about picturesque?
What is the spelling?
Uh, Picture. Actually, I didn't remember that exact meaning. Rusque, like.
I didn't
But
heard, I think.
I knew pronunciation right. Picturesque. Picturesque means होता है beautiful, and yesterday I read the story. So there was a picturesque village.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pitch,
Yeah.
there was a picturesque village. Over there live one boy. So I thought, wow, that is an amazing word and new
Mm-hmm.
for me also.
Right, right. For me,
And
yeah, this
one I learned yesterday elated. Elated means
related means yeah, very happy, right?
yeah, yeah. I didn't know, but I yesterday I learned. Yeah.
Mm.
And third one is flushed.
No,
Do you
I
know
don't know
flushed?
this.
FLUSHED flushed. एक flush वो होता है ना after using the washroom we can flush, right?
Yes.
And that the same meaning when we like get angry, so our cheeks red, right? So
Hmm.
we can say when I met with him now, her cheeks are, or we can say her cheeks flushed. So we
Oh,
can
wow.
use like that. Yeah.
Yeah, with this we can also recall or remember these words with any story, with any trick. This is the
Mm-hmm.
right to learn
So I
words.
think best way to learn language by the reading books, right?
Of
When we
course.
read any story, so we always remember.
Right, right. Because we can
Yeah.
connect with each other.
Do you want to share any one or two word?
Okay. So, what about commendable? Commendable.
Commendable means like as like you are doing something awesome, right? So
Hmm.
I can say this is a commendable job, but I don't know about Hindi.
Yeah, commendable when we want to praise someone. And what about
Yes.
promise?
Sorry,
Promise, promising. Promise that is promising.
I don't know about promising.
Promising, yeah. So that sounds similar. People get confused, but promise is a different word that we know already. So promising is, of course, when you want to say someone that yeah, her child is so promising. Or in Hindi we say honhar. So Hindi meaning is promising is honhar, right?
That's a
So
great. This is also very great word, and we can use this word day to day our conversation as like you are a very promising girl
yes, right.
because in this age you are spend your time with very productive way, right? And there are so many also girl who really enjoy with the like friends with the phone, but you are really spent your time with the productive way, so I can say you are a promising girl, right? Am I right pronunciation?
Yeah, it's promising.
Yes, promising, right. Yeah. Okay,
Thank you
nice
so
share.
much. And you are also commendable. As I already told you that you are doing work, you are handling everything. So this is really commendable, spending time in productive things.
Thank you. All right. So do you want to share any like special memory with your friends or with your family?
Yeah, special, a lot of things. How can I select anyone? There are a lot of things
Yes, so you
that we
can
can't.
share only one.
Hmm.
Which you like, which memory makes you very energetic or can say happy, inner happiness. Or you can also share like any sad moment which occurred in your life.
Hmm. Yeah, so this is, I would say right now, whenever I recall that thing, I'm sharing this. So when I was in my 12th standard and I was giving my board exam, so that time I was really ill. I was even unable to walk properly, right? And that time I had to give my exam. And so that was my physics exam, I think. And physics, I am really terrible at physics and maths. But yeah, because I joined coaching, so I completed anyhow. And when I went there, so in examination hall, I was starting, vomiting, and I was just feeling dizziness. So I just sit there and just mention my name and fill the copy, and suddenly it happened with me. And then teacher said, just take rest. So 2 hour I took rest, and rest of 1 hour I just, I have written my paper. And when I came back, so I told everything my family, and everybody supported me. Only my father scolded me. So I was very scared that time what will happen in result. And when the result was out, so my mother and everybody was just supporting, said it's okay, you will do it, no worries. If you get failed, then no worries, not a big deal. In this world, so many students they get failed, right? So that's not big deal. So they have a big faith on me, they have very confidence on me that I will do it. And finally when result came out, so I was passed with good marks, with good percentage. So yeah.
Wow, that's a great, and I think that moment was never ever you forget, because whenever you want to show your result to someone, so definitely you recall that moment.
Yeah, that pop up in mind always.
Yes, yes, right. All right. Nice
So
sharing.
okay, so I think we should wrap up now.
Yes, yes, definitely.
And
Okay,
we'll
so it
start.
was really very amazing conversation, and this is, I can say, unique conversation, not a, like a similar, right?
It was very unique, right? I'm
Yes,
elated to have to talk to you.
same here, same here. Okay, bye bye.